What's up, everyone? How's it going? Oh, it's been a bit. Been a bit since I've been able to go live. James, how's it going, bud? What's really going on? Uh, it's a lot, and it's been a lot since a while. For everyone that's watching live, and everyone that goes back to the beginning to try to catch the kind of bottom line up front. Bottom line up front, we're not stopping. Nothing's been dropped. We've just had a lot of headwinds and a lot of things going wrong. Not like consistently, but not going right long enough for us to get caught up and back up and running. And I'll talk a bit about some of them. Some of them I have to kind of leave vague. But like I said, bottom line up front, we're not stopping. We're just in a we're in a tight spot. I'm working today. I'm gonna do some live editing with you guys. I've got Christine's resting. I'll talk a bit about that, but the JJK episode 8 that I started working on before our break started and touched on the other day. I'm going to work on finishing that with you guys once we're done chit-chatting a bit. And I'll also try to, if I feel well enough, I'll try editing on Christine's Fate that she was doing, which I think is 20. And I think she's only got like maybe 5 minutes left that she didn't get to. So, excuse me. Thanks everyone hanging out. What's been going on? So before we had our mostly James. Yeah, I mean no one's dying. That's something else I should say. Bottom line up front. No one's dying. No one's dying. No divorces, kids. The parents are okay. Before we broke for the wedding prep, Christine's brother got married back in October. We had some minor issues with our son. I know I mentioned to people in live streams and past videos, Lucas has issues in the military healthcare system. The clinics they would be taking care of would be behavioral health. Okay. Some people might say mental health, and that covers a wide array of things, but I'm trying to provide him some privacy when it comes to that. But if you're a member of our Discord or you pay attention to some of the videos, some of the interactions Lucas and I have even had on camera playing games together, some of you might be able to kind of work out what some of his issues may be. And there are days when it is just smooth sailing, and then there can be days that stretch into weeks of rough waters with him. And he is and always will be, now that I'm out of the Army, my number one priority. In the Army, the mission always comes first. Thankfully, we are geared in a way that they still allow us to put our families first quite often, but you're not always going to be there for everything. I'm not in the Army anymore. I can be there as much as I possibly can. So we had some issues with him on his normal day-to-day, got kind of rough, and that kind of put a damper on things. And then we had him getting really sick. He spent about a week losing fluids out of both ends, and that was really rough on all of us. And Christine has, for a while, some of you may know, she's one that will sometimes kind of go out of commission, dealing with things ranging from long COVID to migraine. She gets bad migraine. She's like I mentioned a minute ago, she's resting right now. No, he goes to a regular, well, it's not a regular school. It's a 3 through 8, but it's ran by the city, almost like a magnet school of sorts. I don't know why I'm a bit nervous talking about some of this, so forgive me if I pause more than usual. Christine's resting, migraine. She's trying a new medicine. Luckily enough, she had kind of gotten a reprieve. Yesterday we had Lucas's 11th birthday party. We had Lucas and 6 other kids just playing games. We had 3 TVs downstairs, a group playing Smash, a group playing different things on the PlayStation, and then some Mega Man X. And no, we did have a 4th. My son has a little portable black and white CRT, and we hooked up one of those retro consoles that'll play NES games. Anyways, they had his birthday party, and that was good. But this morning she's not gotten out of bed, other than to get a short bite to eat and then going right back. So that's been an issue since the wedding. The wedding was nice, went well enough, but the altitude changes. It was in Colorado, and she says weather changes. I don't always buy into weather changes causing a lot of illnesses, but a lot of people do. I just think it's like coincidence. But she's had a lot of rough time in the last 2.5 weeks-ish coming back from that. Some good days where we got to film some of the seasonals that we had missed, and then some not so great days, and we're in the midst of some more not so great days. In addition to that, something I have to be a little bit more vague about, Lucas was involved in an incident at school, and he ended up with a concussion. He's okay. He freaked us out for a bit. The symptoms were delayed, but he's okay. He's recovering. Like I said, he had his birthday party yesterday, and I'm very thankful to God and all that for that being okay. As many of you know, I suffer from history of head injuries from the military and car accidents, so I take them quite seriously. So it's been, like I said, really, really rough, and that happened on Monday, the injury. He was okay-ish Tuesday. Wednesday, he started vomiting, and we ended up having to, get him to urgent care, get him to the emergency room, because the urgent care were like, we're not sure. And so the week has been dealing with that, and I don't know all of the specifics. I know that allegedly Lucas was in an argument with some other student. Don't know what was said, how bad it was. And then things escalated from there. Like I said, I can't go into too many specifics because I don't know them all. But I know I've got questions for the school, mostly not necessarily like, oh, blame this or that, but it feels like someone should have noticed before it got to where it got. And that's what's mostly upsetting, especially when it seems like there's a history between my son and this other kid not necessarily getting along, right? And that if there's an incident that you feel like there was enough time that someone should have intervened, and then they don't, it makes me concerned. And so I want to address that with the school. So that's what's been going on. I have only so much that I can physically and mentally do. Many of you guys have heard me talk about my injuries and disabilities on my videos, discussing like Dr. Stone and 86 and things like that. And so all of my energy and stuff has been, hold on guys, because this is live. Or is everything okay, bud? You want to say hello? We were just talking about you.
Oh, hello everyone.
You guys have heard, so I have my own limitations, and all of my excess energy has been going to keeping my house afloat. So that's what I've been doing. And that's what's been going on. We're sticking with our plan for JJK and Fate, while I plan on finishing up at least this JJK episode today, potentially that Fate episode. I'm not going to push them out till we've got enough that we can start releasing 2 a week and finish up Fate for sure, and not have a break. And I'm just going to have to work on the back catalog stuff, only one of which is recorded is the not this most recent blue box, but the previous one, episode 5, I think. We didn't get to watch Dan to Dan. Christine wasn't feeling well, and it'll take some time for her to feel well enough. I don't know if she'll be good enough for Yaku's fiance tomorrow, and we were going to use that as a chance to do Dan to Dan with Brian, who couldn't do it regardless of us not being able to do it this week for work reasons. But it all depends on her. So, yeah. Thanks for hearing me out. I know some out there may be like, oh, well, I don't want to wait, so I'm going to unsubscribe. I mean, I get it. I hope you don't, because we're not done by any means whatsoever. We're not done. And I know most of you guys are like, just, hey, take care of your family. I see it all the time on the Discord. Neon, Peanut Butter. I say Roan because I don't know how to pronounce RWNE, but that's what I just say in my mind. All of you guys and more, Yasser, you guys, we got a lot of cool regulars, so I think I linked the Discord in the description box for this video. Join there. It's a great place. I'm usually, it's easier for me, because I'm not logged into the Genreverse account on my phone primarily. Like, I can switch to it, of course, but it takes a lot more effort for me to make a community post than it does to just say something on Discord in the general chat. Hey guys, this is what's going on. But yeah, that's what's going on. We're not done. We're not stopping. We're just in a spot that I can only do so much. And even if Christine's not able to record tomorrow, it's Veterans Day. Go yay all my fellow brothers and sisters out there in arms, brothers and sisters in arms out there that have finished their service without passing yet, because are not dying in combat. Anyways, the difference between Armed Forces Day, Veterans Day, and Memorial Day, that's kind of what I was trying to get at. Yeah, so that's it. We're moving forward. I'll edit what I can until there's stuff to record. We'll get caught up on things as we can. JJK Fate Vinland will come as soon as we can get them. I hope you guys stay subscribed. I hope you guys continue to support, interact, and I do hope to one day finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on this live as well. So yeah, let's get into editing. I don't have a whole lot of brain power. Let me make sure none of this is going out to you guys. Okay, good. because I can't have all the audio. I don't want to risk, getting the live stream shut down and all that. Alex, thanks. Appreciate it. We are making it. I'll put it that way. We are making it. I'm gonna turn down the volume a bit. It's weird. I don't usually talk when I'm editing. Ooh. So I have a Stream Deck, right? I use, like many creators, I use a Stream Deck, and I am currently using it. This is something I've been telling Christine. I was like, I need a second one. Here's a prime example. I control OBS with said Stream Deck, but I also control my editing with the same Stream Deck. So I'm going to be leaving it on this screen for a while. I think that'll be all right. Yeah, I think, what do you guys think? Is that proof right there, right now? Like this example of, hey, Christine, I should totally be allowed to buy a second Stream Deck. I want one of the larger ones. Oh, man. Now, this episode 8, when he gets to the fight against the grasshopper cursed spirit, there's times where, like, all of the standstill, like, they are just standing still for a long time. They use a lot of this, like, still frame animation. This isn't the Blu-ray, right? This is the low budget cut that was aired, right? Because it just felt off on how much they did stuff like this. And I even, like, comment on it in this reaction. Let me know if that's what's going on there. All right. Uh-oh. See, I don't think I need all of this right here. He's just describing these things. One of the things that I do is I hate coming into the middle of, like, a sentence. I want things to kind of flow. It's almost as if I'm recutting the episode in a way. And here talking about swarms being annoying. I can cut a bunch of that out. I'm talking about bugs that bug. God, it is so weird to talk while hearing ourselves talk. Talking about swarms of bugs I encountered on my military deployments. This was a alright episode, but like I said, I felt so... The animation of it felt so off compared to other ones. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit more room to see. Let's see here. Okay, so you guys can probably hear this now a little bit in the background. I've got the audio, the effect that I use, the chorus effect in there is engaged and the volume's down low, so hopefully we'll avoid any what's the word, copyright stuff. And yeah, see, just making little choices of what to cut out. I'm sorry, I've only done one other live edit, I think. It is a weird process, so if I just go silent to kind of focus on this, please forgive me. See, there's just so much stillness in this episode. And then I just say interesting, and I don't even remember what was interesting about it. I think I'm just trying to fill up, like, space. You see, look how dim that is. This is what you guys were talking about, right? Yeah, like the detail is severely low in the characters. Okay, yeah, that's got to be what we were being asked. Please watch the Blu-ray. I wish they would come out, the season 2 Blu-ray. I wish it would come out. There we go. We'll cut out some of that. This way people know we were seeing that version of it. And those are some of the things that I think about when I'm editing, and I've told Christine, so she does similar, is making sure people can flow from one scene to another, and not cutting out too much of the context for that, but being willing to, like, if you have an exit and then there's an entry for the next scene, but that but there's like a whole bunch at the beginning of the next scene that's really unnecessary. If you can find another natural kind of entry on point for the conversation in that next scene, feel free to cut off that beginning, so long as you see that exit from the previous scene, if that makes sense. Like a student leaves the classroom where they just had a discussion, and then the next scene is at home, and at home it starts off with the student and their mom, and then dad comes in. Maybe you don't start with the student and their mom, because all of that's kind of, we don't have much to say or react to. You come in with the dad when the dad comes in. Is everything working all right? I keep seeing my my preview of it stop and slow, or kind of go on a circle. No one's complaining, so not many watching either. It's all right. I'm glad everyone that wants to know what's going on. That's why I front loaded that at the beginning. This was funny. Christine calling the grasshopper spirit out for being loud and dumb. You see all this standing around with the music playing? I can't leave all of that in, and her and I are just kind of watching. But I'm going to come in right here. Maybe right here. Yeah, that'll work. And then it still flows well enough together, but cuts out some of that, like, dead air, if you will. And look at this. This goes on for way too long. What is this? This is from 50 seconds to before another word is said. You're talking 12, 13 seconds of just the no words, no nothing. That's not good. That was kind of rough. I'm going to cut some of that out. And I think right here is where I notice things are kind of off. Maybe not. No, not yet. Whoops. Yeah, right here. This is going on a bit. So in this case, what I want to do is I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to use a little compression to 150. There we go. And there I am talking about how something feels off. Zombie cookies, how's it going? Yeah, I see so much. I'm gonna cut a little of this out. Oops. I think I should add a little bit more. There we go. That feels a little bit smoother on that one. Like I said, I do try to think for you guys while I'm cutting these up. I do try to think to give you some natural transition. Like I don't like to have like 2 frames of a new sentence on screen, but I'm trying to cut that sentence out. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I can't avoid having 2 frames of the new sentence, even though there's like an audio gap or whatever. But I do try to make things as smooth and logical for you as I can while dealing with copyright and all that. Music is the hard one, man. They get music so easily, and yeah, Zombie, it's one of the ones. It's episode 8, which I'd actually been working on off and on for way too long. There. Like that example where he says, you've eaten people. I don't necessarily need this, so I want to make sure that I could stop there. But I know we have like a large Japanese audience as well, and I know that they probably aren't paying so much attention to the subtitles, and so I know a lot of like words with the language will end with longer sounds, and sometimes those are important in length for like context and the language, and so I try to leave in as much as I can. It gets frustrating sometimes with the way that the subtitles will be lined up and when different sentences start. Some of it's probably on me. A lot of the audience might not even care, and I wish I knew what I could lighten up on and not be so intent on doing. But I also kind of think of you guys just in general from a story, a narrative point, and wanting to make sure things flow well enough for you guys. Like here, that should be fine. We've got the fight. He says, gonna trick him. You've eaten people. The item is broken. There we go. That should work. Alright, veil is lifted. We're going to wait on Itadori. We don't really need to necessarily... I could actually cut... Let's see here. Let me go back and see this. No. Okay, so... we can actually... skip... no, we'll let her say that. And then we'll go to the... we'll go to Mojito. Down in the subway. There we go. Man, I'm sorry that my feed... I don't know if you guys are seeing any hiccups. I'm getting some hiccups on the back end, what I can see. Yeah. Sorry if those happen. Not a good key animator for not a big episode because of schedule was hell and need to work. Wow, that's crazy. I've been told about the rough process for season 2. So the other kind of trick to getting around audio claims is all the like breaths and time in between. Cutting those out does seem to kind of be enough to disrupt the audio track that the computer is comparing it to. So like if you've got 2 minutes of Goku and Vegeta talking, right? They are listening for that 2 minutes of Vegeta and Goku talking. If you manage to cut out, breaths, pauses, things like that, you might kind of shrink it enough that it's different enough that it can't compare well enough. That combined with the full things that you cut out completely, word, sentences, segments, all kind of helps towards the idea of fair use, while also helping the sometimes overzealous detection, usually on music. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Okay, that'll work. She says you weren't, it wasn't that difficult for you. And then instead of having everything there, just have Itadori go to it wasn't Mojito. I love these characters. I really do. As fun as the first arc was fun, I like the main cast, that we start following in season 1. I really do. Oh god, guys, Epic is here. No, Epic, it has not changed. I still do not like pineapples. I already beat you to it. Yeah, that's rough, Alex. Okay, that was the funny moment. Yep, I'm going to keep all of that. The slide is fine. Okay, that'll work. Pine cones? You know what pine cones are? they are makeshift grenades for young kids playing war and in the actual army. Pine cones are something, used to play with as a kid, like, pretend it's a grenade because it's like shaped like a grenade. And in the army, when you're, sitting around in the woods waiting for, the next task, training, you're in the field and there's just nothing to do, they also become grenades or something to like pelt each other with as hard as you can in boredom. All right, we got the vines closing in. Yeah, sir. Were your ears burning? I mentioned you earlier. Yeah, we know they would kill, so I can leave that out. Go right here. I like this, and I mention it. How in the crowd, under the veil, showing the humans that have that sixth sense, if you will. I just mentioned you're one of the regulars on our Discord, and that when I say, hey, we're facing headwinds, we're having hard times, that you are one of the ones that is like, family first and very supportive. Do I really have a reaction here? Little bit. So here I'm just gonna cut out some of the dead space, or not mojito, but God dang it, Suguru. What's the other name I'm looking for? Crap. Anyways, it wasn't just you that did the pine cone hand grenades, epic. And you have never seen a pine cone in real life? Really? I mean, it's not completely unbelievable. There are lots of areas that definitely don't have pine trees, but it is a very common tree in a lot of places. Yeah, and epic for the people that put entire stuff on the internet. That ain't me. I've mentioned many times that a lot of the stuff that I do with the full intent and purpose of meeting at least my idea and what I think is the general idea of fair use, making sure that we are not a replacement for the source material. Ooh, here I'm supposed to put in an image, because there's a character in this right here. You can kind of see her. The Halloween stuff is going on, and I'm like mentioning that looks like Android 18, right? 18's the female android married to Krillin, and I don't remember if I already downloaded the image or not. Let me look for it. No, I did not. Perfect circle won't ever exist. I guess. I'm not sure what is considered the perfect circle, so I need an Android 18. I need one of the images with her in with the sleeves and the blue jacket. Yep, got it. Bingo. And that's such a small image. You know what I could do? I could just load up Dragon Ball Z, but that would just take time and effort that I don't want to put in. I will download this. It's from the show. I know you guys can't see what I'm getting, which image. You'll see it in a second when I drop it in the project. I'm on my other screen over here. Sorry, I don't have a lot of brain power, so focusing. That should work. Uh-oh, where'd you guys go? Okay, I got you back. Okay. Ooh. No, yeah, sir. Unfortunately, we have not been able to record yet. Not for this. You missed out the beginning of the video. You might want to go back and watch like the first, 7, 8 minutes and then hop back up here. Okay. I need to widen these back out. Oh yeah, that's a funny moment. Need to widen these back out. I need an extra track for the background. He's gonna go right there at some point, and then I know what I need. So where do I say it? Okay, there I say dressed up like, who was it? 18? Yes, indeed. It was 18. Well, gotta turn off auto ripple. My ripples do not need to be automatic. You know what? It might be better to... Might be better to do a side-by-side. Okay, we got that there. And what I want to do, take this and just put it ever so slightly to the side. I don't want to make her too small because I want it to be clear. Yeah, that might work. We'll make it go a little bit earlier. That'll work. We'll go with that. So I don't need this track after all. You started making a video game? Starting like a little indie project? That's cool. Sorry that it's being giving you a hard time. I saw that it was ending, Alex. We do fairly good at avoiding spoilers. Fairly good. X/Twitter can be a dangerous place for spoilers. And sometimes I mean to go in and put in, mute some words, but also I want news on when something is coming out. So it's kind of like a damned if I do, damned if I don't. Oh, crap. Wrong one, Kyle. Pardon me 1 second, guys. I'm not gonna put on the break screen. I don't necessarily need a break, but I just need to go check what that sound was. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'm back. All right. Christine is out of bed, which is a good thing. She's trying to eat something. Getting swatted? No. Not getting swatted. Thankfully, we haven't made any enemies of that magnitude yet. Surprising, considering all the hot takes we have on things like Mushoku Tensei, the laughing at Sid on Eminence being Sid. I am in the hunt for a new keyboard. I've got a full-sized keyboard, but limited, workspace, and I want to get like maybe a 75% or something like that, and I'm on the hunt for that because my mouse keeps hitting it, and I've got the Stream Deck on one side. I'm gonna put in, nope. You guys like those? Those of you that are watching this either live or on replay, let me know in the comments below, but little editing notes that we put in and the fun bits. Do you guys enjoy those? The references and whatnot? Excuse me. Be a little bit shorter. There we go. That's good. Alrighty, moving right along. See, here's one where I'm just going to have to kind of cut out the space in between talking. See, I don't need to see the extra explanation of we'll put more people in there. I can skip right back out, maybe? Or I could even... sometimes I want you guys to see, like, even if we don't necessarily have a verbal reaction, that things are processing. So like I said, I'll just cut out the gap in between sentences there. Okay, and then I can cut out a little bit there and save on the audio, music, stuff playing in the background. Yeah, that was pretty shocking. They brutalized the people here. They brutalized them. Where am I going to make some cuts here? See, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, look at them. They're like dumbfounded even. Because we're, you know, like, especially in my face. So like I want to kind of leave some of that, but that's a lot of unedited, uncut video and audio, and it becomes a balance then of it getting caught on the automatic detection and then me having to go back in, you know, after rendering a cut of it, uploading it, seeing that it gets got, and then going back in and playing with the please stand by overlay that goes over these. I start off at 55% and I try to get the video delivered at 55% opacity. But if it doesn't go and it gets a visual claim because it can see through even 55%, I mean, like on Discord, I've mentioned before, I'll share often, you know, hey, I had another video get claimed, and that's me starting at 55 and then trying 57, and then sometimes I got to go up to like 59, 60% on the opacity just to get the video through, or having to play with audio if there's just too long of a segment and some of it's really important, and especially if it's got a song behind it. That's where so much muting used to happen before I found this chorus effect being fairly effective, but it also requires cuts, especially with music. Yes, Alex, it is a balance. I put in every effort, like I said, to meet what I feel is fair use, to not be what's the word? Not supplement, substitute. Not to be a substitute for. I'm sorry, I'm way too close to the mic. I'm used to being on my other mics. I am sorry. This is a shotgun mic. I can actually have it be a bit away, and I had it all up close. That's my fault. Sorry. Back to the edit. So I'm trying to figure out a place to kind of cut in here. Or what I can do is use my old friend, time compression. Since it doesn't really have us talking, it doesn't make things sound too silly. About 150 to 200% is usually enough to help combat claims. Usually. See, like right here, I would like to skip all of this beginning stuff because most of you guys already know what he's talking about, which is something that's in my mind when editing, is what the audience on these like everyone, no one uses us to watch the episode first, like on seasonals. So when it comes to seasonal reactions, I will leave in more stuff like this for the audience who might need a reminder of the full context of the scene. But for a show like JJK, where I know people watching us have definitely seen this show, not just because of its age, but it's a back catalog in general, and you will know some of the stuff. So dude breaking down the two different moves being hindered and not being able to get off the combination or whatnot, I can kind of skip some of that because you guys already have that context. And that's one of those other things that I try to keep in mind and have told Christine to think about while editing. But here's one of those things where it kind of upsets me, or like quickly cuts, or maybe I just didn't catch it right. No. See, he's already starting to talk. And if I go right here, it's like too quick of a thing and it feels kind of rough to me. Somewhere in here. I'm gonna have to probably just cope with it. That seems like it might be enough. I lose a few frames if I come in just right up on it. But if I get it right as the line changes, it should be enough. And then you see me like catching the gist of what it is he's saying. All right, we'll cut out a little bit of that. It would make him a dump truck. I think I want to keep in the whole line about it being difficult for him to move. Now that is another cheat I will use. Like, let's say I don't necessarily want to keep all this in. I do because Christine comes in right after with something. Even though this is the beginning of the new sentence, sometimes I'll cheat and go ahead and cut it just at that nice clean spot, hoping that there was enough time for subtitle readers to catch the gist of the line, and for any native Japanese, or not necessarily native Japanese, but any people fluent enough in Japanese to just go off of what they hear, that they would also have the gist of it. But I usually try to leave in any full sentences that I can, so we're going to just cut out the gap here. Okay, that should be enough little cuts to prevent any issues. All right, let's see. But I am going to need to make some cuts here. Now we're gonna go right to the... There we go. You guys are all cheating getting to see us react to this early. I know it's not quite the same as the full render. You got me doing double talking over it, and it's on a very tiny window. Which that's not even something I thought about when I started doing this. The fact that I wonder if they could try to claim that little itty bitty window there, that nothing's happened so far. I haven't gotten any warnings or anything. So there's that. That was another reason I at first didn't have the sound on. And then I didn't even think about, like, that's a tiny window. It's much smaller than on our reactions, but I need to keep an eye on that. Not make it too big. There we go. That worked. That's pretty smooth. Save a few seconds there. Yeah, I think things are quiet enough and small enough that it wouldn't get got. I agree. Okay, explaining domain expansion. I don't think you guys necessarily need to see us go, we understand. Or not expansion, the amplification. There we go. See, I'm saying something about except for what? What was on my brain here? Oh, okay, I know what I'm saying. He's explaining to himself, he's explaining, see, there it went with the circle waiting again. He's explaining the effects and all of that, and I'm thinking, like, they've thought this out. They're going to prevent you from using things except you can do, and that's why I'm saying except for what. Will you guys get that if I cut too much of this out, though? Unfortunately, Anime Watcher, yesterday we had, not unfortunately, but yesterday we had our son's birthday party. He turned 11 earlier in the week, and we didn't get to record it. And unfortunately today, Christine has been down with migraines. So we haven't been able to record Dan to Dan, Ranma, or this week's Blue Box. Last week's Blue Box is recorded, and I'll be editing that. But yeah, we'll get there. Thanks for your patience. So here I'm just gonna kind of cut out these words here. Thanks, Anime Watcher. She actually got out of bed a little bit ago and is eating, and says the pain's a bit better, dealing with the tiredness and other things that come with things like migraines. Okay, there we go. That'll be enough context for that. Me thinking about how does he get through / around. Okay, we can cut out the first part and get right to the whether or not he could actually pull it off. Did you ever learn about that lightsaber joke that she said out of context? Yeah. We definitely had a good laugh about that afterwards and off camera. That was funny. We've really enjoyed Ranma. Like, really enjoyed. And I need you guys to explain stuff faster sometimes. Cool. Can I get away with cutting this? Yeah, should be able to. If you draw. I will say this for those of you that are watching live that aren't part of our Discord yet. If you please do join. Lots of great conversations. Memes room is good. Share your pets. We have a pets room. But when I've got enough of these edited that we get to the 2 a week, we do put the early episodes up there. I'm not going to put them too early. Like, as soon as this is done, I'm not going to upload it and put the unlisted link on Discord yet. But hopefully next week this will be there, and then the following week. But again, we've got a whole lot of other things to catch up and get got. But the goal will be to, not have any breaks going forward for JJK, Vinland, and Fate. But yeah, do join the Discord. Early videos will go up there, and hopefully this one will be up there relatively soon. I don't think I will get to finish that Fate video on camera. I might work it off camera, or off stream, I should say. It is taking a lot of effort to do this. Okay, we'll go right to there. Ooh, that'll be awesome. And good to hear that we will enjoy the next episode, yesterday's episode. CSM Chainsaw Man was such a delight. I know there's like a lot of manga purists for that one that feel like it didn't do a good job. I wonder if they would have felt differently if it had been like an anime original. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it feels like everything that I saw in Chainsaw Man lends itself to motion and that cinematic feel that you can kind of do on the printed page, but definitely works better in motion. I wonder if it was an anime that later got a manga adaptation, if they would feel differently. Not saying they would or should, just a curiosity. I loved the anime, as did Christine and Brian. See, I can sacrifice a little bit of longevity here because all of a sudden we've got more to say, and I want you guys to see that reaction to the kill. Ooh, now I need the Mr. Meeseeks meme there. I'm gonna put in a note. To put that in. I'm not gonna I actually have a folder right here is our folder of I could probably have brought this down a little bit more. Sorry, you guys just sitting there looking at this weird part of my neck. A folder filled with like the clips, the memes, the references that we do, and this keeps, you know, building. And I need to find I have some Meeseeks, but I just made a mention of the stickler Meeseeks, and I want to put that clip in there. I won't do that today because I'd have to go record it, and then I'd have to shut off the desktop audio and the feed and all of that. I'm gonna finish up the cut and then bring that in. Yeah. I'll bring it in later. I need one of those dials that I can connect as left and right to turn. The less said about the purists crowds, the better. They will never enjoy an anime of their favorite series unless it's one-to-one adapted. There are some like that. Western comics fans has the same with, you know, the Marvel and DC adaptations. There's people that wanted, you know, Civil War or Infinity War to be like Infinity Gauntlet, panel for panel, page to screen. One thing I liked about second season of Ocean Oko was they discussed how things don't always translate well from medium to medium, and that you have to adapt with each medium in mind, just as radio dramas had to adapt when they, you know, came over into movies. The way War of the Worlds played on radio, it can't play exactly like that on film and be as good as it can be. And comics to animation is a lot easier than, say, comics or manga to live action. But even then, voices, movement, time constraints, or time, not necessarily a constraint, but having to fill time makes a lot of changes necessary. Not necessarily story changes, but presentation change. They're called adaptations for a reason, and adapting is not inherently bad or negative. I want you to hold out for 20 minutes. It's the negative zone. We get so upset sometimes when these episodes end. I need to bleep out the S word there. I mean, I don't have to. It's far enough in. But I'm one of those that I find sometimes censoring foul language is comedic. And I'm one for comedy, but you guys can find plenty of reactions where either I missed it and it didn't bother me that I missed it. Because again, I'm not censoring for censorship. Just sometimes it's really funny. And then other times I think it might even be more important to hear it. But, and especially if it's not in the beginning of the video, it doesn't really seem to have an effect. I know that's anecdotally not having an effect, but even YouTube themselves say, and they say a lot of things, but they say that, you know, hey, if you meet the guidelines of, you know, certain words not within the first 7 seconds or whatever, then we won't affect it. My experience in general is that's true unless it's like a string of them. Like if even 5 minutes in, you're like, F this, F that, SOB, SS, damn all hell, then you might see some issues. But this I'm just going to do because I think it'll end up being kind of funnier. Yeah. All right, that was cool. SpongeBob Sailor Mouth. I don't think I know that reference. I mean, I know SpongeBob, of course, and I get the idea of a, you know, dirty mouth like a sailor, curses like a sailor, but I don't think I know the actual reference. Let's see. Will you watch Look Back? Because it's something else. Fujimoto, Look Back. That one's not ringing a bell. I'm not against watching pretty much anything in general. I've, you know, made it clear that there's some type of traumatic shows that neither one of us want to watch. Christine does not like things dealing with stuff like the beginning of Goblin Slayer. We will use the SA, where the A stands for assault. She doesn't like to see stuff like that. Even if it's not the focus, getting through scenes like that can be really hard, especially if they are graphic. Then you have certain things like Made in Abyss and some like rat babies or whatever that I read about. I don't want to see that. Stuff dealing with kids can be very difficult for parents to watch. But other than that, generally, you know, we're open to most anything. And some of the essay stuff, you know, I watched Goblin Slayer. Doesn't mean that I like that stuff. I don't like Berserk because I think it goes a bit too far at times with stuff like that. And you know, Goblin Slayer has what it has, but it's like a quick, you know, a quick bit of it there at the beginning, and then not as much, with a lot more like alluding to, where it's not as graphic later on. And season 2 for Goblin Slayer was tame. But Christine's a pretty big like no on that type of stuff in general. Character drama is awesome. This anime, that's what I figured it would probably be, but didn't know for sure. And I looked at the wrong camera. This one is not on. Oops. Whoop. Uh-oh. Oh, thank God. I had accidentally hit the button, and had to bring in, or no, I don't know why I did this. Oh, anyways, for some reason I had to separate the tracks here and do a little blending bleed through stuff. Said I want to watch another one now. It's my JJK and I want it now. Alright, I'm going to put the marker here. I didn't mark this all the way through. I usually put my timestamps as I'm editing. So that way when it's done and I'm uploading it, I just, click the timestamp and put the time in on YouTube. But I got that there. But hey, I got through it. I need to tidy up the audio, which means I need to be able to hear better, more clearly. But yeah, I got this. Regardless of whether or not Christine and I get to record tomorrow with Brian, it's Veterans Day. I have the day. Lucas has the day off. I will work on... See, this is why I need another stream deck. I'm sitting here looking at it. I'm like, where's the buttons for OBS? My brain not comprehending that I have to leave my editing screen to go to my OBS controls. I'm telling Christine that I need a second one. I totally get people that like Berserk, and I don't begrudge them. Just, it can be a lot, you know what I'm saying? It can be a lot. Everyone's, and sometimes your line can be a little flexible to where something just doesn't have something that necessarily makes it worth getting through. What you don't like or what you're uncomfortable with would be the better word than, or better phrase than not like. But I'm gonna finish this up and I will continue to edit. What I was trying to say was that if we can't record Dan to Dan and Yakuza tomorrow, I'll work on Blue Box and finishing Christine's Fate episode. Like I said, I only think it's got like 5 minutes left to edit. Up and until I can record the missing seasonal stuff and get those edited when she's feeling better, I will work on back catalog stuff as we're trying to get caught up and whatnot. So yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those where it's hasn't become too gratuitous. Like it's not like Goblin Slayer level. Obviously, Christine has been able to get through it. It really, especially with her, it really depends on like the context of it, how brutal. And I'm similar. There's definitely lines that you can cross with me where I'm not gonna throw my hands up and get all righteous or anything, but I'm hey, I'm out. It's not for me. Thank you all of you that hung out, watched me finished the most part of this. Like I said, I need to do some audio listening and tuning, add the music that plays in the background before the outro music, and then extend the please stand by. But we're not going anywhere, guys. I like doing this. I want to do it more. It makes me sad when I can't. And but I have to be able to do it, and I also have to take care of my family, so that comes first. But I love doing a lot of this. I love doing this in general and want to do more. And I hope my family and home life gets a little bit more stable, less chaotic, especially for my boy. I want nothing in this world more than for him to grow up to just be safe, happy, and healthy. And as long as that includes a roof over his head and is relatively hopefully one day can be sustaining. That's good. He doesn't have to be filthy rich. He doesn't have to be famous. He just needs to be healthy, happy, and secure. So, but we're not going anywhere. Thank you all for hanging out with me. And again, join Discord, subscribe, check out all the other stuff. If you're into horror movies, check out the Halloween reviews Christine, Brian, and I did. Christine did a lot of editing on those. It was a lot of fun working on those for a few months. We're going to work on them even earlier this upcoming year, and hopefully next year do a Christmas review series as well. So lots of great things planned, and I hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Good night. Bye.